Hey, A10, congratulations. This is the 70th Google Classroom video. We are technically, we should have 70 of them on YouTube as well, but 3 of them were joint presentations. So they are not posted on YouTube. So we have 70 Google Classroom videos, and we're just 3 short of getting 70 on YouTube, on the Heskin ELA YouTube channel. So you can check those videos out either way, through YouTube or through Google Classroom. But if you want the joint ones, you have to get those off Google Classroom because of the information that pertains to the classes, and I didn't post those. So congratulations. Oh, which way? 70. There you go. All right. So let's get to summaries. So we have figured it out. You can use my head for 0. 70. There you go. Chapter 10, Dragon. Graf and Anderson see a change in Ender's demeanor. That's his behavior, his approach since having contact with Valentine. Graf has plans to reshape Ender for good. So once again, we break them, remake them. And Ender is given the duties command of Dragon Army, Dragon Army was non-existent for 4 years according to the text, and also now it's being revived, and Ender questions that. And of course Graf is a little snarky in his little comments. Well, we have the uniforms, so we might as well use them. So anyways, he gets a mosh posh of soldiers that he has to train, mold, all kinds of stuff. So basically, just like what Graf has done to Ender, Ender has to do the same to these soldiers, break them and remake them. So Ender will not be allowed to transfer any of his soldiers because Graf has put together his team. Another example of control and isolation. And we had a little snapshot of that earlier on, where Graf had a bunch of folders or files of different candidates that he feels would best bring out the true leader of Ender. And so this will be your crew for Ender to work with. Ender realizes he is treating his group just like Graf did when he arrived at battle school. Break them and remake them. Ender continues to act like those who have mistreated him. Everything he hated about those people, he's becoming like them. Just like he was becoming just like Peter in the way he handled the Giant's Drink, and so on and so forth, in the way he handled Bernard and Stilson and that kind of stuff. Now he's becoming like Graf. Okay. Ender realizes Graf has been manipulating him all along, and he had a feeling about that, but now he comes to the resolution or actually not resolution, wrong word, revelation that Graf has been manipulating him all along. So Graf is the enemy, and he's going, whatever they throw at him, he's going to do, and he's going to come out on top. How that is, we don't know. Okay. Chapter 10 continued. Anderson puts an end to Ender's practice sessions with the better kids. All commanders will practice with their own soldiers. So that's another limitation that's placed on Ender. Isolate him further, force him to regroup, come up with another way of solving this problem, so that he can still have the ultimate successful outcomes for each battle, and so on and so forth. After all the manipulation, isolations, Ender is now ready to defeat his true enemies, his teachers. So that's how Chapter 10 ends. Chapter 11, Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Anderson once again questions Graf's persistence in pushing Ender as much as he has been pushed, and there will be consequences. So Anderson's been warning Graf from day one. If he continues to treat Ender in the fashion that he has been treating him, it's going to backfire in Graf's face. And there'll be other consequences too, especially in regards to the hierarchy of the governing body of the international fleet, the Polemarch, the hegemon, and so on and so forth. There's going to be consequences, not just here in battle school, but back on homeworld as well. Ender isn't sure he is succeeding or not with this ragtag crew he commands. Ender sees it in the faces of the others that they dislike Ender for his tactics and successes. Ender uses the tactics of the buggers to learn strategy. So foreshadowing there. I didn't talk about that in the recap. That's something that you need to read up on yourself. But by watching the enemy, you can actually learn how to defeat them. So you find out how they were successful in their tactics and so on and so forth. And once you understand that, then you can, and you do exactly what the enemy did, then you can actually become them and play, play them on the same level. But of course, the belief is because I'm doing it for the good side, and the buggers are the evil side. So I'm going to use their tactics against them. Ender demands Graf give him a better challenge, as his previous challenges have already lost its momentum, despite being ahead in the standings. Ender wants an honest battle with an honest victory in order to earn the glory of the fight instead of winning by default. And if you recall, you win by default when one of the soldiers is able to get through the entrance and unfreeze everybody. So that's one way of winning by default, or you're winning by default by the fact that you just decimated an easy army. Like they were using easy pickings, I guess, so to speak. Bonzo is defeated in battle, and Enders knows he will be seeking revenge. And so I didn't mention that in the recap either. So that's something you need to read up on your own. But we already know that Bonzo has it in for Ender, and especially with that shot in the arm that Bonzo gave Ender as a reminder, I haven't forgotten you. Ender believes the teachers will protect him as they are the ones who put him in this situation. Do you think that's going to happen? Graf didn't protect Ender on the ship to battle school after Bernard attempted to basically put Ender in his place. Ender actually put Bernard in his place for breaking his arm. They didn't protect him when he had his monitor taken out, when he beat up on Stilson. So do you think the teachers are going to protect their prized commander? No. It's part of that, again, that break them and remake them plot that Graf has. And so Ender's he's in this all alone. And which kind of gives a snapshot of what Ender's character will be like towards the end of the novel. So I suggested that for a project idea, if you have the capability, artistic ability to draw the transition, like each transition of Ender throughout the novel, from that little boy up to now to being that commander, it'd be an interesting caricature or something like that, or kind of a photo album type thing that to show the growth and the ups and downs, the isolation factor, those kind of things. So that's chapter 11. Okay, so If you have any questions about 10 and 11, please let me know. We have 3 chapters left, I believe, and hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow. If not, it'll be the beginning of next week. And coming up, if you want to get your TED Talk completed as well, you can submit that to Google Classroom. I'm hoping that assignment link will work. If it does not, then submit it through email as a backup plan. Just follow the instructions on Google Classroom. And you can free yourself up for June by getting it done sooner. That's why the deadline periods are set up the way they are, so that you can manage your time accordingly. And also, if you want to resubmit or fix up any assignments for any of the deadlines in June, just email me. Let's have a conversation. If you want to have a Zoom meeting, let's do that as well. If you want that face-to-face conversation instead of emailing back and forth, just let me know, and I can send you the link, and we can set up a Zoom meeting that way. Albeit you have to have Zoom on your computer to do it. And yeah, so let me know, and keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you later. All right, take care and be safe.